Welcome to Intuitive Chair Yoga. So with this small practice, should take about 12 to 15 minutes, we're going to work on practicing the skill of interoception. Interoception is generally thought of the capacity to check within and see how you're doing. For me, practicing yoga has been a wonderful way to develop and hone this skill. There'll be 5 parts, and you'll see how when we go through these, we're going to start at the top of the head. We'll start with some breathing first, 3-part breathing. I'll walk you through that. Then we're going to start at the top of the head and move down the body with a variety of optional movements at each spot. You do not have to follow along exactly as I'm doing it. As a matter of fact, my hope is that I will guide you to trying a few different movements and then maybe choosing the one or several that you want to do however it feels right for you today. Feel free to sit out a movement, feel free to add into that movement, make changes, whatever you'd like. This is your practice, and a big part of this skill is staying in tune with yourself and trusting that you know best how to move your body in a way that will benefit you today. So let's start with a little 3-part breathing. We're going to focus on the abdomen, the chest, and the collarbone area. So each time we take a breath, we'll start with those 3 separately, then we'll combine them, and then we'll move on to some movement. So getting comfortable in the chair, totally up to you if you'd like to lean back and relax or sit up nice and tall. Another option is to keep your eyes wide open, to close them, or to maybe have some sort of half-open gaze. So some folks like to just pick something that's in front of them to sort of let their gaze go hazy. Others might like to look down at the floor or maybe let their eyes almost close. So try out those and see which one works for you today. I'm going to close my eyes. And we're going to start with an abdominal breath. You might like to take a hand and place it on your abdomen. Just notice that you're breathing, first of all. Feel the air going in and out. And then let's inhale together right into your abdomen. Maybe noticing your abdomen get a little bit bigger, and then exhaling as you pull your belly button back to your spine. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Now, if you'd like, you can stay there, or you can move up to the chest and do some thoracic breathing. So I'm going to move my hand to my heart. You can try that out. And inhale. Feel the chest expand. Feel your rib cage sort of open up. And exhale. Try that 2 more times, keeping the breath in this middle part behind your rib cage. And again. Notice where you're feeling movement in the body. And now to the collarbones. So again, you can place a hand on your collarbones, maybe both hands, maybe one hand. And we'll try this breath 3 times. So keeping the breath sort of high in the body, right behind the collarbones. Movement in the shoulders. Here we go. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. Very shallow breath. Try it again. It can be difficult to keep it that high up in the body. So let's put them all together. We're going to inhale into the abdomen, take another breath in into the thoracic or chest area, final sip of air right under the collarbone, and then we're going to release it the same way, collarbone, thoracic to abdomen, with the last movement being pulling that belly button back toward the spine. So you can put a hand on your heart, a hand on your chest if that feels right, or just keep them wherever you had them. Here we go. Inhale, abdomen, then a sip into the chest, then a sip into the collarbones. Here we go. And now exhale the same way that the opposite way. So collarbones, chest, and abdomen. Pull belly button to spine. Let's try that 2 more times. Abdomen, chest, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, chest, abdomen. And again, last one. Inhale, abdomen, chest, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, chest, abdomen. And if your eyes were closed, gently open them. And let's start with part 1, neck and shoulders, sort of head, neck, and shoulders. So we're going to start with just moving the head around on the neck. So one way is to look over each shoulder. So you might want to give that a try and see how that feels. You might like to add some breath to this. So inhaling as you turn, exhaling as you come back to center, and inhaling again. Another option is to drop an ear to a shoulder. So remember, you can follow along with me, or you can try one and go back and forth, or you can hold. Maybe this shape feels really good. You've got some tightness on this side of your shoulder and neck. Go ahead, that's totally fine. Just breathe there for a moment. Another option would be gently looking up and down. Now, my caution is that when you look up, try not to go far, much past where the wall and the ceiling come together with your eye gaze. Dropping your head too far back can cause some pain. Those little vertebrae in your neck are tiny. Another option would to be rolling the head. Again, I caution against rolling to the back, but if that feels right for you, just be gentle with yourself. Side to side. Remember, you can go back to any of these movements. Another option is to make circles with your nose right in the space in front of you. So just pretending there's a magic marker at the tip of your nose, and you can make little circles or bigger circles, but right there in front of you, like you were drawing on a blackboard with your nose. And just try both directions. And then take a moment now and go back to any movement that seemed like it felt good. And you can add, you can put a few movements together, looking over a shoulder, moving around. Then you can roll to the other side. So just honor what feels good right now and take a few breaths. And when you're ready, we'll move to shoulders. So starting with a nice and simple one, but remember, you can just try this out and move your shoulders any way that feels good. But you might like to inhale and draw the shoulders up and exhale and press the shoulders down. Inhale and draw the shoulders up. Exhale and draw the shoulders down. This can turn into a lovely shoulder roll. Bringing the shoulders back. Try forward. Try stabilizing the shoulders and just pulling the shoulder blades back towards the spine and then releasing them. Back towards the spine and then releasing them. And you can include breath. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Inhale, shoulder blades back. And if you don't like the way that I'm breathing, you can absolutely breathe any way you like. Perhaps you like to inhale and then exhale up and inhale back and down. Totally fine. Try it out. Maybe one shoulder and then the other, and then maybe forward and then maybe backwards. See what feels nice and right for you today. Perfect. Remember, you can always take a moment to fix your clothes or fix your face or your hair, whatever you need to do. All right. So neck and shoulders, if there's anything that feels like it didn't get done completely, take this time now and just keep moving around, do whatever feels right. But I'm going to move down to arms and hands. So there's lots of ways to move these. Let's first See how it feels to just reach up overhead. Notice where the stretch is. Maybe take a big deep breath into the chest. And then as we bring the hands down, maybe wiggle the fingers. Beautiful. Maybe make some circles with the arms. So this is shoulders and arms. I mean, our bodies are connected, right? And then the other way. Great. But I'm starting to feel this go down the arms. Maybe bring the arms to the shoulders and move the elbows in circles. Great. Just maybe out and in. Beautiful. Maybe bring the hands together, interlace the fingers and flip the palms, pressing out, starting to get into the hands, but noticing how that feels around the forearm. And then bring that up overhead. Pull it back. Notice what you feel. Maybe take a breath. Great. Maybe make some waves, now moving into the hands. Maybe go the other way. Remember, you can stretch and reach up, whatever felt good. Maybe pull back and then down. Try the other arm. Notice how it feels different. And down, being gentle all the while. Maybe just clenching and opening, wiggling the fingers, touching one finger to each thumb. Making open-handed circles on the wrists, turning that into fists, seeing how that feels different. Maybe bringing the arms together and out and moving. So lots of options here. Just go ahead and if you'd like, close your eyes for a moment, see how that feels. Beautiful. Bringing the arms out, you can point the hands down or up. And then you can even take some more movement and just bring the arms up and then down. Starting to feel this in the back. That's where we're going next. So warming up. And you can even add some head movement to this if that feels right. So look up and then down. Beautiful. All right. Remember, any movement that you like, anytime that you like. Let's move into the back. Cat and cow. I'm going to turn my chair so that you can see how I'm moving my spine here. For me, it's going to be a combination of pulling the shoulder blades back, which we just tried, and sort of leaning back and letting my spine open towards the front of my body. This would be considered a cow, and I like to inhale here. And then the opposite is cat. So pressing the spine towards the back of the chair. Oh man, that feels really good. And I like to exhale here, pulling the belly button to spine. And so you can go back and forth with this. Again, you can add head movement any way that you like. You can add shoulder movement any way that you like. Maybe really rounding the shoulders, adding a little half circle. Breath. Very nice. You might want to twist over to one side of the chair. Be careful with this because with the chair structure, you can overdo this a little bit. So keep both of your sits bones on the chair as a nice anchor. And then try the other way. You can stay in one twist and inhale to lengthen and exhale, or you can go back and forth. Beautiful. Feeling that in the back feels so good. And then maybe to really start stretching the low back, reaching over and just making a nice pillow for your head with your knees and hands and arms. And breathe into the back. Breathe into that low back. Create some space there with your breath. And exhale. And let's move into the hips if you're ready. Maybe you don't want to and all of that back movement felt really good and you want to stick with that. Pause the video or turn it off and keep going with that. But let's do some hips. So we're going to get nice and tall in the chair and we're just going to do some hip circles. So we're just moving around, starting to feel some movement in the hips. Now you'll notice my spine's nice and straight, but you can add some movement to this with the head, with the neck, with the shoulders. Just stay in touch, check in. How is this feeling? Physically, emotionally, how does it feel? Psychologically, Do you want these to be smaller circles? Do you want them to be bigger? Did you go in both directions? Great. All right. Let's bring one knee up. It doesn't matter which one. You will get to both of them if you want to. All right. So let's inhale. I like to inhale and press my knee into my hands. I feel a stretch in my shoulders. Notice where you feel that. And then exhale, bring my nose to my knee. Inhale and exhale. Maybe make some circles with my knee joint. With my hip joint. That feels really good. Go in both directions. And let's do some feet here, some circles with the ankles. Flex the foot, turn it both ways, side to side. Yeah, that feels really good. You can't tell, but I'm wiggling my toes. Great. And then let that go over to the other side, or stay with that one, right? Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Make some circles or stick with that movement. Just keep your spine nice and tall. And the other way. Nice, and circles on the ankles. Back and forth, up and down. Wiggle the toes. And there's lots of more movements. In this course, there's a link to a sheet with lots of movements for this, but we're going to finish up with a nice 3-part breathing again. So again, either sitting back to rest or being nice and tall, closing your eyes or having a soft gaze or keeping your eyes wide open, whatever option feels right to you. Start with the abdomen. Inhale. Exhale. Chest. Inhale. Exhale. Now collarbone. Inhale. Exhale. And then twice we'll go all the way up and all the way down. Here we go. Inhale, abdomen, chest, collarbone. Exhale, collarbone, chest, abdomen. One more. Inhale, abdomen, chest, collarbone. Exhale, collarbone, chest, abdomen. And now return to breathing naturally and take a moment to check in. Notice how you're feeling. Has there been any change from when you started? There's no right or wrong. Perhaps you noticed some tension when you started. Is it still there? Is it as significant? How's your emotional state? Remember, we're noticing. So just notice how that was. Notice what shapes you liked best. Notice which body areas you liked moving best. And then when you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. You did a great job noticing today, and you are learning interoception. Take care.